We all know what to do when we get a flat tire. But what happens when your car is in a ditch, or caught in a flood, or, in a serious collision? Today, we're going to talk about the critical service you need when basic roadside assistance just isn't going to cut it. We're talking about salvage towing.
Okay, just picture this for a second. You've been in an accident, or maybe your car is stuck somewhere really dangerous, like halfway down an embankment or on a flooded road. It's not just broken down, it's an actual hazard. So, who's the right person to call in a high-stakes situation like that? So first, let's just be really clear about something. We are going way beyond your standard roadside help here. This is all about what happens when a real disaster strikes and you need a specialist. Right, so here's the crucial point. There's a huge difference between a car that, say, won't start and one that's been smashed in a collision, or is underwater, or is just plain unsafe to even get near. You can't just use standard equipment for that. This is exactly where a specialized recovery becomes absolutely essential. Okay, so what's this professional solution actually called? Let's break down the specialized service that you really need in these critical moments. And here it is, salvage towing. That's the industry term for recovering vehicles in exactly these kinds of challenging spots. It's not just about moving a car from A to B. It's about safely and expertly rescuing it from a really difficult or even dangerous situation. Now this is where it all becomes crystal clear. Look at the difference. Standard towing, that's usually prearranged for a car that just has a mechanical issue. It's pretty low risk. But salvage towing, that's a full-on emergency response for vehicles that are completely inoperable, totally unsafe. And it requires entirely different specialized equipment to get the job done right and safely. So when would you actually need a salvage tow? Well, as you can see, the situations are pretty serious. We're talking about major accidents, damage from floods or fires, or when a car is an insurance write-off. Basically, it's for any vehicle that's just too damaged or stuck in a tricky spot for a regular tow truck to handle. All right, so to make this really concrete, let's dive into what makes for an elite solution. What does a top-tier professional salvage service actually do when they get to the scene? A truly professional service is equipped for a huge range of challenges. It goes way beyond just accidents. They handle total loss vehicles for insurance companies, they recover cars from fire or flood damage, and they even pull off these complex off-road recoveries from places you wouldn't think a vehicle could get to. And this brings us to a super important question. If you're ever in one of these incredibly stressful situations, what should you actually be looking for in a provider? What really separates the true experts from everyone else? First and foremost, this. Emergencies don't exactly stick to a 9-to-5 schedule, do they? So the single most critical feature of any emergency recovery service is that they are always available, around the clock. Okay, so beyond being 24/7, here are the key things you need to look for. You absolutely need a fast response time. You need a team that is specifically trained in salvage recovery. This isn't a job for amateurs. And of course, they need modern equipment to handle it. Plus, in a moment like that, you really want clear, transparent pricing and the trust that comes with a local service. That's vital. And honestly, this right here gets to the heart of it. The best services, they get the human element. They know how stressful this is, so they focus on clear communication and just being professional. It's not just about recovering a vehicle, it's about helping a person who is having a very, very bad day. So let's wrap this all up with the most practical information of all. Knowing all this stuff is great, but what should you do when you actually need the help? When you're searching for a provider, look for one that explicitly lists your local area in their service coverage. This is so important because it ensures they can get to you quickly in an emergency. And as we know, that response time is absolutely critical. Ultimately, it all comes down to this. In a real emergency, the last thing you want to be doing is frantically searching online for a number. The most crucial step you can take is to find a reputable 24/7 salvage towing service in your area now, before you ever need them, and save that number in your phone. So, here's the key takeaway. Being prepared makes all the difference in the world. Knowing the difference between a standard tow and a salvage recovery is the first step. But the second and most important step